Welcome everybody to Casters and Castles. I'm Tormented by Gnomes. I will be your Dungeon Master this evening. Joining me are Bren, Driftwood, Ash, Sideshow, and Uber. How's everyone doing tonight?
You know, pretty good. I woke up at 5 a.m. So I may drop to death at some point here, but feeling pretty good.
Well, the nice thing is...
Whose fault's that?
I mean, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. We don't have to allocate blame in these circumstances.
Okay.
Brent would
just
like
making
to,
sure.
I think. He would just
Making
like to
sure.
make sure we all know who's at fault. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Just wanted to go on record.
It's been good shit.
How's everyone doing with that so far?
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Should we just make this a Valorant podcast?
I can be the host because I haven't played any.
I've only watched.
That makes you very similar to everybody in Twitch chat.
There we go. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm ready to begin. Thoras wants to fuck.
All right. I mean, that's
All right. Well,
that's powerful.
Metal men.
This isn't one of those types of campaigns, but I respect your choices. Far above the lands of Galadron and Vercinget, amongst the fantastic cloudscapes and unearthly vistas of the Sky Kingdom, the quest for the Book of Dawn struggled to gain their footing. Weakened and afflicted by powerful chaotic magic, they found themselves beset by the Knights of Terra Nimbus, flying warriors whose blades echoed with the thunder of Vindur, sovereign of the skies. To their aid came Thoras the Girthy, a mighty Goliath warrior. Who bore his own grudge against the knights. As the battle raged, the clouds beneath their feet roared with supernatural fire, and Sin, sovereign of fire, appeared before the quest. He spoke to the ancient archmage who was inhabiting Allan O'Dale's earthly form. At the archmage's request, Sin purged the spirit of the mage from Allan O'Dale and cleansed the party of some of their chaotic afflictions. Thoras led the quest to the secret village of Hreidur, hidden inside a massive rain cloud. There, Winget Elves and bird folk live in hiding. But even as our heroes find shelter for the first time during their journey, they find themselves in peril, for outsiders who enter Hreidur are forbidden to leave. Alright, so... does anyone have any questions before we pick up? You are in the village of Hreidur, inside of a rain cloud in the Sky Kingdom. You are under armed escort by Winged Elves and these walking bird people, the Aarakocra. They seem to be taking you to their leaders. Does anyone have any questions before we get into it?
So many.
how familiar are they with Thoras, by the way? These people.
How familiar are they with Thoras?
Yeah.
He's an obvious outsider, but they don't recoil from him. They don't look at him with disdain. They kind of give him the, yeah, for sure, Thoras, what's up? Nod. So they're familiar with him, even if he's ill-fitting.
Are we under arrest? What's the armed guard situation around us or whatever?
There are 6 Winged Elves. They have shining silver, the same bright steel as the sword that Eren took from the Knights of Terra Nimbus. They have winged helms and spears, and there are 6 of the Aarakocra, the bird folk, also armed with spears. And there's more kind of fluttering in and out there. Remember, the inside of this rain cloud is filled with the boughs of this tree with blue bark. And so there's Aarakocra perching on them, looking down at you. So there's 12 armed guards. You are definitely under armed escort. You are not under arrest. They haven't taken your weapons. They're not pointing the spears and jabbing you in the back or anything like that.
Pog. So,
Yeah. Okay. As we look around, like, is there any evidence of like a certain symbiosis, or like, is there anything we can understand about the relationship between the elves and the bird folk? Obviously, they're different species, but they're inhabiting the same place.
Yes.
Like, what does that look like? Like, what does that cohabitation resemble? Because I guess they can both fly, at least.
So the inside of the rain cloud, it's a hollow, right? It's like a cavern, but in the clouds. It is interspersed with this huge blue tree that grows in all sorts of different directions. There doesn't seem to be a single central trunk to this tree. It's almost like vines growing in and out of the walls of the cloud. As you look out further around the edges of the cloud, carved into it are these very nice sort of spires and platforms and amphitheaters, and those seem to be where the Winged Elves predominantly live. And so it's sort of, they ring around the whole cavern. Then inside the tree that grows from wall to wall, the Aarakocra have nests interspersed throughout there, with one large central nest in the middle. So they each have their own homes, but there are definitely shared spaces. They don't seem to regard each other with any contempt. They're all getting along, even if they have sort of different lifestyles.
All right, cool.
Thoras. How did you leave? They say nobody can leave.
You...
Hello, Thoras?
Brent, do you want
I
me to
knew
drop
he
you a
was
line on
slow,
this one?
but
I
really.
can't
Sponsored me. Well, one of them did.
Sponsored?
Yeah.
What, like you're a
Said,
Pro
I
gamer.
sponsor you, Thoras. He said,
He got the DX Racer hookup.
pro
Sponsor you to do
gamer.
What do you
Yeah.
do for these people, Thoras?
Thoras does nothing. Thoras goes out and hunts. On a
You bring-
regular
I
bring
think
stuff
he
back
means
to
they
them?
basically spoke for him, and if he kills or messes up, that person is on the hook.
Thoras will take you
Would be my
to
guess.
leaders.
It's similar to a policy my people hold.
Okay.
That checks out.
DKek!
As you call out, an incredibly old-looking Aarakocra flies overhead from tree to tree, peering down at you. His plumage is completely white. This sort of, not a bright shining white, but this almost translucent white. He's got red eyes with a couple of splotches on his feathers. He answers the call, and he peers down at you and all the folk that you brought with you.
DKek! I killed many metal men. Actually, I didn't kill any, but they got away. But we almost killed them. And these guys here, they didn't help me at all. It was all
I
me.
helped. I just couldn't kill the guy. He had thick
This
armor.
guy,
I
he's
hit him
he's small but mighty.
multiple times. I
I
definitely struck him.
spoke with Sin while you all stood there.
There was a fire, and now, for some reason, I don't know who these people are. DK, listen,
What?
you
Knows
want
exactly who we are.
Actually, I
Who
don't
are
think he
you?
does. He
We are
wants
the
to know who you
people
uh,
that
are,
you're-
Lysha.
Oh.
what?
I'm Lysha.
Anyway.
I'm the one who spoke to the fire beast.
Yeah, I don't.
One
well,
of the traveling companions
okay,
that you've been bound to.
yes, yeah. Leash.
Listen, Thoras.
Lysha.
She fears many things, but makes big boom when we fight. Makes lightning,
I do
big
not fear
explosion,
many
bang,
things.
Big
pow.
boom.
Yeah,
Oh,
big boomy.
Yes, big
heads
boom.
fall off.
Thoras
Not
made big
unless
boom
they're
once.
evil.
Thoras ate spoiled meat once in wilderness. Was the only thing to eat for 12 days. Big boom.
Yeah, similar kind of boom.
Poison water supply. Tribe had to move.
I could teach you how
Very
to
bad.
purify water if that's something you want to
Lysha,
avoid.
Goliath stomachs
Look
are
at
very
Can we
Look at- look at
move
Thoras, look at
ahead here? How do we get out of this situation?
I love someone in real life just going, how do I get out of this conversation that I'm having with you right now?
Anyway, DKek. I believe they want to leave at some point. Don't know who they are. Can't vouch for them.
You can
Couldn't
vouch
really
for me.
fight that much.
I beat him up the hill. He's mad.
He is so small, so cute, don't you think? Anyway, I cannot speak for them. But me, you must have information for me. I must go hunt more.
Many groundlings in Hreidur this season. Strange, ill omen.
Have there been more before us?
Now there are.
Well, now there are. We're here.
Wait, now there are more before us?
No.
Time is an illusion to pigeons.
It's actually a circle. It's time is a circle, right? Yeah, there's no start or end point. Listen, we did not. I mean, as much as your accoutrements and hospitality looks fantastic, we did not choose to be here. We are looking for one of the keys to the realm of Cryas, and we came through here through a font of power after obtaining Dotane's dagger. We wish no harm upon you or your ilk. We would very much like to benefit from your hospitality while we continue our arduous journey somehow in this world of fucking clouds and elves with wings and sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Eat, drink. The others fetch.
Eat and
Thoras.
drink the others.
No.
Oh, are you an idiot? No, he's saying we will eat and feast tonight.
Oh,
And
good.
maybe
Oh,
drink.
Wait,
excellent,
but
excellent.
who's fetching what?
I'm quite fetching in my armor with this sword that I definitely can't show.
Groundlings, the great stone. Dekek points sort of up where the armed guards all stopped as this bizarre encounter ensued. Points up, great stone. Other leaders there. Food, wine.
Oh, thank you, great albino pigeon.
I'm down.
All right, Dekek takes one more look at you and flies off.
All right. I'm walking
All right.
straight to the rock.
Old friend of yours, Thoras.
Wasn't the rock up?
Yeah,
How
there
many
will be
friends do you have, Thoras?
some climbing involved. As you can begin making your way as you continue to converse. So go ahead.
He is not friend. Thoras, when Thoras found himself here, Thoras stumbled upon these people. They are, I don't think they could climb mountain, but they could possibly fly over mountain. Nice people.
I would say, given they have wings, that's probably true.
Maybe fly, but
Do you wish you
they-
could fly?
Are they
Thoras?
related to those flying people we saw before?
what?
Ones that you were hunting.
Oh, no, those are just the metal men. They attack Thoras when Thoras arrive here, and Thoras killed. I'll be honest with you, Thoras. I'm pretty sure I killed many of them, if not their entire civilization. How they've built up in this time, Thoras does not know. But the point is, the bird people, the elves, they're nice. They helped Thoras when Thoras was a little weak puppy, and they helped Thoras go out to kill more.
Do they like the metal men here?
No, they do not like metal men.
Good. All right, let's get some grub.
I'm gonna keep collecting feathers. By the way, Joe, I'm just collecting as many feathers as I can, stuffing them into my pockets.
Okay.
Sorry, does anyone else want to know who the metal men are?
Metal men.
No?
Why does it matter?
All that matters is I steal their weaponry. And
They
then
point
co-op
sword
it.
at you, you kill them. That's how it works, isn't it?
I mean-
no.
Maybe we'll find out if we ask these people that actually know. Because, to be honest, it is interesting talking to Thoras, but I'm pretty sure he gets all his information from how the chunks of rock line up after he busts them with his own head.
Yeah.
I think you said something smart.
We
Come,
have
let's run.
an act of God. A minor one.
Oh,
A minor
Hey,
act of
dude.
God. A minor act of God.
Okay.
So, and I'll incorporate it in just a moment. They lead you. You have to climb up some tree branches. Obviously, this path was not meant for groundlings. So it takes you maybe half an hour to reach the far side of the Rain Cloud Cavern, where a wide plaza of smooth, polished stone, solidified cloud, you're not sure. It feels like cold marble beneath your feet, and it's slick. It's covered with this layer of condensation. It hangs on one side. It is attached to the edge, the interior side of the cloud, and on the other, the boughs of the great blue tree grow to sort of hold it. So this platform is hanging between the dwellings of the Winget Elves and the nests of the Aarakocra. When you arrive there, there's many, many more, both Winged Elves and Aarakocra, most of them are armed. Well, many of them are armed in some way, but not as heavily armed as the guards who are escorting you, who fan out on either side. There's a great deal of conversation and hushed whispers going on as they bring you up. And as you're brought forward, this is clearly an amphitheater of some sort. And at the focal point, there are 2 Aarakocra perching on well-polished, huge knots of the blue wood. One looks very old and has silver jewelry, thin chains sort of strung along her head, between her talons, draping down along her wings. And the other one is Dikek, the one that Thoras called to earlier, who's sitting there nibbling on his talons. They hold places of honor amongst the Aarakocra.
Where is the wine?
Good question. As you are brought up, they're in the process of bringing out clay jugs with wine. And
a jug.
yeah, they're like, here's one for our guests, and here's one for Thoras. These are prodigious. These are a couple feet tall. And then they also bring up an assortment of food. There are some sort of meat, probably bird. And no,
Chicken.
Not chicken. Probably not chicken.
Bird people eating bird.
Yeah, falcons eat smaller birds.
Birds eat birds. Yeah.
Exactly.
True, actually.
Exactly. And then a whole bunch of strange, like, they bring up these grapes that are about yay big and this pale blue color, and some other. I mean, it looks decent if strange. And they're setting it out for you. They're keeping you at arm's length, but they are setting out food and drink for you.
Eren likes these grapes, yo. He's about them.
I'm gonna start tucking in. I'm eating as much bird as I can fit down my neck.
I'm gonna be indignant that I didn't get a picture the size of Thoras's, and then just realize that probably would have killed me and go back to drinking a normal sized cup.
It's got a wine in it. It's a very dry, very cold, with a bit of sweetness to it, but very, very strong. It doesn't taste
Hints
like
of cardamom, clover, maybe cassis.
more. Yeah, the cassis, star anise sort of flavors. Not so much the warm cardamom flavors, but the piercing cold, almost minty sort of flavors.
Sounds like a Piedmont.
Very good here. On the other side, there are 2. So there's basically the ruling council of this place are these 2 Aarakocra, who I've mentioned, and 2 of the Winget Elves. They're sitting on these odd thrones that clearly were designed to be perched on. Not like, you don't sit back and do the Thanos thing. You sort of perch on this because it's designed for people with wings. One of them is wearing all sorts of different colored, not really a cloak or a robe. That'd be incredibly impractical when you're trying to fly. But very stylized, with lots of little strands and ribbons of different colors coming off. She's got piercings. She's got one of those chains that goes from your nose to your ear, and huge earrings. And the other one is clearly a warrior. She has the biggest helmet of all of them, with some huge feathers coming out of the back. Her spear is made of this polished, deep, dark blue wood, and the spear tip is made of the same metal as your sword, Eren, but it is polished to a sheen where it's almost impossible to look at. So these 4 are clearly the rulers of this place. I'm going to roll for the act of God.
Yay.
19.
My wine.
19. Okay. All right. Lysha.
Oh yes.
For a moment,
fucking go.
standing here in this bizarre polished cloud amphitheater with this alien life all around you, you're standing right next to one of the giant roots of this blue tree, and even though it is growing out of a cloud, drinking rainwater before it falls, it barely gets any sunlight, just what streams through, you still recognize it as life, as plants as the same sort of nature that you've spent your whole life attuning to. It's a comforting presence in this time, and you feel the presence of the earth flowing through it. So you gain one additional cure spell that you may cast whenever you'd like, once.
A cure spell?
Yes.
Hog.
Level.
Even if I don't already know one?
Yeah, basically one time, whenever you want to use it, and then it's gone. You can cast Cure Wounds as a level 2 spell.
Sweet.
Yes.
What was so funny, Josh?
I was giggling because you were setting it up as if she was scared shitless of it because she's scared of nature.
I know, and I was
I
like,
know,
wait, no, I'm not
after
scared of
I
nature
got
anymore.
Purged.
Yeah, it was like, this is the things that you've been grown up on. The wine is reminding you of the herbs, and I was like, Jesus Christ, she's gonna be scared of everything that's ever been made.
She's so dead. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, everything's made of chemicals.
Yeah.
Even my blood!
Right, so
Anyway.
are they bringing us in such a way that we're just there to eat? Are we to attend them? Are they addressing us or planning to?
You're being brought before the leaders, like clearly an essential. You're not. This isn't a big merry feast with everybody. This is, you have been found in our territory. You are being brought in for questioning. Here's some food and drink because, you know, clearly you've had a rough go of it, but we still don't know what to do
I
about
nominate
this.
Allan O'Dale to speak on our behalf.
Yes, I'm ready to speak.
All right.
Hello, leaders. Listen, Thoras, I went out, I hunted, I killed metal men, and this is listen, yeah, and we know you don't like them. So me, I also don't like them. They try to kill me.
What?
Can you let the? It's a lot to explain. I don't really know where to start. There was a fire, and it told me that if I kept these people near me, then they would bring me glory. I think in war.
Wenches mostly, but
I stood up as if to speak. And he's
Peace
cut
and
me off,
end,
now he's
an
talking
end
about
to war,
nonsense.
actually.
Shush. I'm gonna put my finger on your lip.
The Goliath's finger is about yay big
Okay.
and incredibly calloused.
Do not listen to singing man. I need you to sponsor them so they can come with me to hunt. Please.
Go ahead.
sorry. Do these people speak Celestial by any chance?
You have no way of knowing until you try.
I will attempt to address them in Celestial,
Okay.
which is
All right. Two of them perk up and look at you.
What do you say? Because I understand Celestial.
yeah. I'll be saying we did not intend for the large man to speak for us, as we only recently joined paths.
Dekek, the albino Arakokra, and the winged
albino
elf,
pigeon.
the albino pigeon, and the.
That's why I said it earlier, Bren. Well done.
Oh.
Fun fact: I wrote that character in completely not paying attention to your username, so now it's canon now. Albino pigeon is
I was
canon.
just role playing as Thoras. That's why I didn't know this.
Sure. Yeah, good role play. Good role play.
Yes. So Dekek and the winged elf with the piercings both appear to understand you. Dekek is a bird and therefore a little bit difficult to read. The facial expressions, there's not really a mouth.
Yep.
But the winged elf takes note of that. Did not expect that.
Okay. Yeah, Lysha, you can understand what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can. Okay. We didn't actually intend to arrive in your kingdom. We entered this kingdom through a portal of an origin that we did not understand. I fear that we are ill-equipped when it comes to a knowledge of this region. I do understand that we need to pass through this region in some manner. We're looking for one of the keys to Cryas. That's what we're trying to do. We don't even know if you know what that is. We fended off some men in these. I mean, Thoras was correct about the metal men. We did fight them, and I will at that point display the blade that I stole from them or removed from them, as if it was a conquest and not an opportunistic act of theft. Yeah, and basically be like, we don't mean your people any harm. Is there any way to indicate to him what my true nature is without I don't think there is actually. I wonder. Well, I think Eren hopes that one of these two can tell because he speaks this language that he's not a normal human.
If I would tack on to the end of that, if I could, we've been sent here by sin.
Okay.
We come in good faith.
Dekek, the Aarakocra, emits some sort of cawing sound. Having never heard before, you're not sure what that means. Thoras, you recognize that as a laugh.
Excellent joke.
Well, what do you mean, Thoras? Didn't he
Well,
cough?
Lysha told a great joke.
Can I call him a dumb cunt in Celestial?
Listen, Alan, if we're going to travel together, you need to understand what they call social cues. And when other people laugh, this is something I learned in when I was hanging around with the humans. You'll pick it up. If they laugh, you laugh, and it makes them a lot friendlier.
I see. Thank you, Thoras. Keep teaching me this kind of stuff, please.
After me.
I'm gonna just stare at him. No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't get it, Thoras.
I'm pretty sure Eren is laughing, but just because he's not the one being talked down to. I guess.
I'm pretty sure Lysha is standing there just kind of like staring at them and then looking slowly over at the others to see how they're reacting to her.
Thoras will teach you. Do not worry.
Thank you, Thoras.
The elder, not Dekek, the other Aarakocra, the one with the silver chains. Who are you? And where from?
In what language?
Common.
Celestial. Oh, common. All right.
Yes.
Me?
No,
you,
Thoras.
They know you.
Thoras, they know you, you big bald fuck. All right. We're
Thoras is not bald. Thoras has luscious hair.
I mean, it's not in your
I
head,
am
that's for
Lysha
sure.
of the Huldra.
we're a group of travelers. We come from very, very far away from here. We arrived here from Dotane's Rock. We didn't intend to come here. We didn't even know what here was. I don't
we were
think
thrown
either
through
of
a
us.
portal.
I don't think any of us are particularly suited for life up here either. I mean,
That is true.
We lack the wingy things, and our bones are too dense.
Unless one of you wants to teach me to turn into a bird.
They look at each other for a moment. They whisper something. They look at Thoras. They talk to each other for a moment, and the winged elf with the piercings. She will give you her name, Nalri. This is Hreidur, our home. We live here by the virtue of secrecy alone. Do we preserve our freedom? Now that you've been here, now that you've seen the way through, you have the secret of our location. If that is ever given up, the Knights of Terra Nimbus will find us, they will conquer us, they will take our freedom from us.
Oh, you're hiding from the metal men.
Yes.
That's all right. We don't like the metal men. Not a big fan.
What if we just killed them? Oh.
Do you know any tricks how to break into that armor? Because I rung that motherfucker like a bell and he still crawled away.
Just let me sleep.
Talk to us then. Sorry, what was your name again?
Nalri.
Nimby?
Nalri.
Yes.
Sorry,
Show
Thoras.
respect, little bald man.
I'm not bald either, you bloody luscious locked fool.
What?
No,
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
right.
bald.
You have
First he's
beautiful
bald, now he's
hair.
got lots of
Yeah.
locks. All right.
I have lovely hair as well.
Oh,
right?
sorry, I'm mistaken.
It's just a large
No,
forehead,
you are
all right? Get it right.
still bald. You
Oh,
got.
I was
your-
still bald.
We are hairless.
Yeah.
All right, I have my hair back.
No,
No, he has his hair
you
back,
have your
yeah,
hair
sorry.
back.
Yes.
Alan and
I
I
am
are
The
still
two of
hairless.
you are still completely hairless.
I pat my head. Oh no, you are quite right. I am sweating and utterly bald like an 8-ball. Tell us more about these Knights of Terra Nimbus. Why do they plague you so? Perhaps we can help each other out.
They are the vassals of the Sky Tyrant, the sovereign of the skies. We don't speak his name
Oh.
unless we draw his attention.
Oh,
Ah.
it's Sin's cousin.
Yes.
We've Thoras, didn't you say you wanted to give Sin's cousin a good old 1-2?
Yes, Sin promised me his brother's head.
That's not
you
true.
helped
You could take it,
That's-
perhaps. Yeah,
If
That's not
if you
true.
helped us, he promised
Oh,
you could fight
There's no
him.
question if Thoras can take it. Thoras takes whatever he wants.
Thoras, you are tiny compared to Big Sky Sovereign.
Oh, do not say his name.
well,
That's
he
not his
didn't.
name.
It's not his
Thoras.
Do not even
Okay.
utter anything new.
Social lesson number 1, Thoras. Things have names.
But you cannot say it. Do
No,
not say it.
I don't even know the name Thoras.
Do not utter it.
I'm gonna ignore Thoras and
You
continue
would bring
talking to the
down
bird lady.
his wrath.
Perhaps if we helped you out with some of the Knights of Terra Nimbus, you might trust us a little more to be able to give us some directions of how to navigate this area. We are completely at a loss navigating the clouds. We're ill-suited to it. A small escort of flying individuals such as yourselves would be incredibly helpful for navigating the Cloud Kingdom.
Thoras, they fought the knights, yes?
Yeah. Well,
Yes, we
Thoras?
thought the Knights.
strong. Me strong. No, they not strong.
But
Uh,
they
but-
weren't,
but-
they
but
weren't
they
friends.
fight.
They fought, right? They weren't friends?
No, they weren't friends. No.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
I think it is simple.
You are simple, so you would think that.
I think
I step forward, and
Thoras?
in Elvish, I would offer the word of my people, the Holdra, as collateral.
so many languages.
So many languages.
All right. Stay with us tonight. Tell us of your journey. You're saying some very, very strange things. You talked with the Sovereign of Fire. You are seeking the lost kingdom of Cryas. There's a lot to unpack. Eat, drink, share your tale with us.
I assure you, we
Ah.
did speak with the Sovereign of Fire.
That is not
Great. I'd
that
love
is-
to hear the story.
Yeah, I was like, that does not
Lowry,
suffice as telling
Tell
them about
me
it.
more songs of battle.
I'm gonna go back to eating my bird, and I'm gonna strum on the I think I have a dulcimer. I'm gonna strum on my dulcimer while I eat some bird.
All right, let's
Can
go.
I?
Everyone,
you go.
everyone's going off at once. Let's go around, give everyone basically a feast ensues during which you can do whatever you like. I'm going to go around, make sure everyone gets a shot at doing stuff, and the council has said that they'll speak again in the morning after everyone's had some time to recover and they've had some time to
Narrative
deliberate. So, let's go around. Bren, you were asking Nalri to sing songs of battle, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So she will go ahead and, as a lot of you gather around, you notice there seem to be two sorts of winged elves in this community. Half of them they wear all sorts of different. They love these colored ribbons that they wear. They're all playing music, and they all seem to be very impractically dressed. And when the feast breaks out, they go right into dancing and music. The other half of them are all badasses. They're all trained for guard. They're watching around. They're arm wrestling during the fight or during the feast. So even though they're all living together, there seem to be these two different social groups. And Nalri is very, very well regarded by the not the martial ones, but the more artistic ones. And so she'll go ahead and launch into a song about okay, I'm not going to say his name. The Sovereign of the Skies and his invasion and conquest of these lands, and how the Knights of Terra Nimbus flew out from cloud to cloud, bringing everyone under their heel. And according to the song, it's out of fear. He's afraid, and that's why he's invading and subduing everybody. Anything else, Bren, before I move on to the next?
I'm gonna keep pestering Letry
Mm-hmm.
about how I say, we should wrestle one of these days when I'm not exhausted and you're in better form. Listen, I think it would be great sport, and we would, we'll see who's mightier.
All right, when you're not exhausted and I'm in my current form, which is fine.
I mean, I think we're both exhausted. That's why we're not doing this. If you weren't exhausted and I was exhausted, we could still wrestle. But I listen. We're both very tired. It's been a long day.
Sure it has. Sure it has, Thoras. Sure it has. She, one of her veins is like, as she says that. All right, Ash, Lysha, what do you want to do?
I would probably try and breathe out for the first time in a while. Now that I've discovered I'm no longer afraid of the outside, there's a tree that reminds me very much of trees here. I'm going to spend some time around it watching the dancers and maybe try and make some friends with the fellow elvish types. Show off my druid craft a little bit. I'm out of spells, but I could like pull some
Cantrips would be
seeds
fine,
from my
sure.
pocket and do little magic tricks, making flowers bloom and seeds blossom and just generally being happy.
Okay. Make a persuasion, performance, or arcana check. Your choice.
All of those are this. Nope, arcana. Okay.
Oh god. Chat, I can't show you the battle mat and the rolls just yet because I realized I didn't fix that overlay. So just call out your roll.
Oh no.
What do we got?
I rolled a 7.
All right. Even though you have a shared heritage with a lot of these folks, they really don't trust outsiders, and they regard you with a very strange, distant cousin. Until you are 100% validated by their leaders, and they know you're not going to sell them out, they're being polite, but sort of keeping you at a distance.
But my little flower friend.
Yeah, that's nice.
I know I'm going to sadly sit over here and be a wallflower.
Terrible.
All right, Josh.
I'm gonna stuff my face full of bird, and then when I see the elves that are very jolly and frivolous, I'm gonna go over to them and try and especially their tales of the Sky Sovereign. I'm intrigued as to the lore behind it. As a bard myself, I'm gonna go over, trade some songs, try and learn their songs, play a jam alongside them, and pick their brains a little bit about some of the background knowledge behind the song itself. Of like, why would the Sky Sovereign be frightened, for example? Why is that a verse in that song?
Okay. Roll a performance check. And call out your roll, because again, the battle mat's a horrendous nightmare of mishmash faces.
26.
26. All right. What do you play for them?
I'm gonna learn their song first and play it potentially better than they do. You know, I put my own twist on it, but I'm absolutely shredding on the dulcimer. Absolutely annihilating fools on the dulcimer, whilst eating the bird in the other hand as well.
Faces, dude.
Yeah, just obliterating. And at the same time, I'm gonna kind of try and find one particular as similar a performer as I can to myself to try and play solos with, to try and create that kind of bond, that connection while I'm performing.
Okay. Well, after that absolute face-melting performance, the person who pops out of the crowd in response is Nalri.
Okay.
And she goes back and forth. I think she plays a lyre, and she has a beautiful singing voice.
Okay.
And yeah, so you get sort of a dueling banjos thing going on.
Yeah,
Bendis is summoned.
Like a dragon force castle, you know?
Yeah, Bendis is not going to be here. This is not a Bendis tune. This is genuine face melting shredding on the dulcimer occurring here.
All right, you make a very, very good. I don't want to say name for yourself. You make an excellent impression. You gather a small audience. People are listening. This might be the greatest performance Allan O'Dale has ever put on. Maybe it's the high altitude pure air. You're not sure what it is, but you are knocking it out of the park.
Giddy.
Yeah.
Absolutely giddy.
Yeah. And so you learn the song, and I'll give you the TLDR of the lore. There are 4 elemental sovereigns. One of them is dead. the sovereign of Earth, was killed by Uzul the Destroyer. He
That
tricked
seems bad.
the eldest fire giant into forging a blade from the iron of the Earth's blood, and he plunged it into the earth, and he killed her.
That doesn't seem good.
No.
Not because we currently carry the blade.
No, I mean that would be bad news. Each of the sovereigns reacted in a different way from the trauma of losing their sibling. And Vindur responded with fear. He fled from the mortal world to the Sky Kingdom. He built a great stronghold for himself, Terra Nimbus. And he gathered all of his forces and his sons, the Four Winds, and began bringing all the people of the Sky Kingdom under his power to ensure that no threat against him or his siblings could ever rise again.
Yikes.
Is that blade Dotain's dagger?
No.
Okay.
No. Anybody with a proficiency in history or religion could roll to know more.
Religion.
Nope.
Yeah, I have history proficiency actually.
All right, just tell me what you roll.
Oh, I rolled a 12.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. The blade of Uzul was shattered many, many, many years later when Erekura's son, the Titan Ramius, rewrote the rules of the world and banished all the infernals and all the fiends to the underworld. This is 400-500 years ago, maybe a little bit more. So the blade is definitely not Dotan's dagger. You would have felt that when you picked it up, Eren. Given the influence Uzul has exerted over you, you would have felt that immediately.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Solid. Oh, I'm also picking up as many. I'm kind of slyly picking up as many feathers as I possibly can,
I find this very weird.
and as many
Both-
kind of small defining objects of their culture as I can that I can get away with. I'm picking up and
You're
stashing in my
picking up
pockets.
chewing gum and hair. And
No, not
things,
chew-
right?
not
Yeah,
chewing
both-
gum.
Both in and out of character, I find this odd.
Well,
Like, this is odd behavior.
What,
No,
you
my
trying to tell
I-
me this is more odd than a jar of ball bearings and oil?
I'm just
That's
saying
practical.
that you should
They-
probably be the one of us who's the most concerned about people picking up strange feathers.
the internal reasoning behind this is that
I don't see no feather
Yeah.
picking up. I ain't thinking about that shit. You know what I mean?
I'm trying. I feel like if this goes badly, we need some kind of escape mechanism.
You're going to Icarus your way out of here?
These feathers may come in handy. That, you know, as a disguise, as wings, as
Who's got Johnny's hat of
Welcome.
disguise?
I've got Johnny's hat of disguise. I've
So
still
why
got
do you
it,
need feathers?
bro. I don't know, but
You
I'm
might
picking
not
them up
know it's a hat of
because they're
disguise?
useful.
If you want feathers, I'll just transform into
also-
something feathered. I can't do anything that flies, but I bet I could be a penguin. They have feathers.
I'm
I
willing
also
to-
have a bag of holding, so I'm just stuffing this shit in my bag of holding because it's forever.
So what's really funny about this is that the Winget Elves, the Aurai, if they catch you, they'll look at you weird. But the Arakokra, as a culture, don't really get personal property as a concept. So this is completely normal to them. They're just like, oh yeah, you know, that's on the ground, and you wanted it, and it didn't hurt anyone, so you took it.
Wonderful.
What happened to Johnny the
What
Wise?
very lovely people.
You got boomed.
He went mad with power, and his poor, demented form was taken from the Sky Kingdom by Sin, the Sovereign of Fire, to places unknown.
I pimp handed him into a different fucking universe.
Eren, speaking of that, what are you up to?
Eren's looking for a soldiering sword. Someone who is clearly decorated.
Mhm.
You know, in terms of like military paraphernalia. Someone who looks like they're in charge. Someone who looks like they're a warrior.
Well, of the four ruling council members, Leitri, who is the one with the huge helmet with the giant feathers coming out of it,
Yeah.
she's clearly the strongest in this place. She's, well, at least the most accomplished warrior, and everyone follows around with her, and they all drink, drink toast with her and stuff like that. She's at the epicenter of the more martial Aurai.
Okay. So I will probably approach that group, whether they're like, playing, cards or drinking or whatever. I will walk up and sort of plant like this sword that I took into the ground enough that it makes a bit of a noise, and I'm trying to get her attention by looking intimidating, I suppose.
Okay, then roll an intimidation check.
20.
Okay. Describe it.
So yeah, I basically walk up and plant the sword in front of her point first, and say, your ancestral enemies appear to now be one of my new foes. What are these creatures? How do we fight against them? And I dare say that our party may be in need of some of this knowledge if we're supposed to fight our way through them.
There's a record scratch as you walk in to where all the cool kids are here. As everyone turns and you just drop this sword in there. They look at it for a moment. They're like, "All right, it's not bad." And Latry eyes you over, trying to see if you're, what are you doing here? Judging your intentions for a moment. And then she'll say, "They are the Knights of Terra Nimbus. They are the Sky Sovereign's fierce foot soldiers, his loyalists. They come from all sorts. He gathers them wherever he saves them from a storm or plucks them from the mortal world. They are clad in his steel and imbued with his strength."
They appear to wear very heavy armor that doesn't seem to slow them down while they fly through the air. How do you and your people penetrate this armor? How do you get past these kind of defenses?
Well, either get good, or one person grabs him, the other one finds a hole. You notice that aside from the spears that they all carry, they also have side weapons, which are very, very sharp but kind of broad short swords or daggers. Perfect for slipping through the cracks of someone's armor. What kind of armor are you wearing again? Chain?
Chain, yeah.
All right. So she'll reach over and grab your pauldron, pull it up so that the pieces come separated, and then poke, jab right there.
I'll challenge you to an arm wrestle for one of those knives.
All right.
A test of strength, let it be, whatever, or athletics. I want one of those. It's shiny. It's going to help me not be embarrassed potentially by next time we fight these guys. I would challenge you to a contest of strength for the knife, or the short sword.
She gets this grin for a moment.
Oh, Brooke.
She says, "That's not our custom. I'd be happy to take you, but that's not our custom."
What is your custom then?
Well,
I
could let you go in against my champion.
Oh, motherfucker. Bring your champion out.
Oh,
There's no way they're more frightening than you are. Oh, not this bumbling
you called.
Your friend here wants a thin blade.
Why? Oh, too weak. Yes, I forgot. Yes, he couldn't pierce. he couldn't pierce the armor. So
it's all right. A lot of men have that problem.
Green. Yes. Yes. What? He challenges me.
Well, I didn't challenge you, but I guess I am in a challenge with you. Yes, that's how these things work.
Thoras is not one to make excuses, but Thoras is very exhausted.
I look back to the helmeted warrior. Ironically. Are you sure you don't want to take up this challenge yourself still?
Thoras is not one to back
He just
down.
wants to touch you because you're a girl.
I want to play. What the hell?
Thoras.
Best 2 out of 3.
Best 2 out of 3.
First one tonight, then again in the morning. I'll take this one, Thoras. You're up next. Get a night's sleep, and then we'll go in for it.
Okay.
Visibly relieved because the way I saw that going was I definitely fear Thoras because I'm only judging him based on his physical size. So, me maybe not really understanding how these people fight or like where their strength comes from, I would prefer to have gone against her because I'm underestimating her.
Oh yeah, no, she'll go one round now, and then you go up against Thoras later.
All right. I chuckle, roll my shoulders back, find a. There doesn't really, as far as I can see, there's not actually space to sit on the table, but I find it. I squeeze in there, and I pretend like it was made for me, whether it is or not.
You have to shove some people aside. They're clearly not giving ground, but they sort of they expect you to have to carve your own way through it. She takes off her helmet, sets it down, clong. She's covered in scars from many, many different battles. There's some weird. Have you ever seen the scars that lightning leaves behind?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It's almost like the squiggly things in your eyes. It's this bizarre branching pattern. There's a bunch of that all over her arm. She's been in some fights.
Okay.
And
Starting to feel less confident about this battle now. That's okay.
And she'll go in on it. Make an opposed strength check.
Okay, here we go.
23.
Wait, that was a nat 20.
That was a natural 20.
Bro, that was a nat 20.
Yeah.
Oh my
there you go.
god.
Okay, so what happens?
Okay, well, I think Eren is expecting a lot more resistance, and I think as he wins, he looks at her a little bit offended, like he's like they're making a joke out of it, right? Like he's being made fun of.
All right, roll insight.
Ooh, that's a oof. Okay. 16.
Okay. She sees your face and immediately starts laughing, like, haha, this is all a joke. She's livid. She's so angry, but trying very, very hard to put it on lock. All right, that was a warm-up.
Can Eren tell?
Yes, within 16 insight, you can tell. You're not sure what happened. She was expecting to have you on the ropes, and she's so mad right now. In fact, some of her veins are starting to bulge, and there's this weird wind is rustling over the table itself, and your hair is beginning to stand on end.
So, maybe we'll have the rematch tomorrow, or
No.
okay.
Go again.
Oh my god.
Eren is starting to realize he may have made a grave error.
Okay, roll a strength
watching
check.
this intently. Thoras is watching, sipping at his
She
gallon of
enters
wine.
a barbarian rage.
Oh my god.
Shit.
I roll a 9.
All right. Her roll, I'm not going to tell you her modifier. Her roll is a 12. So
Okay.
you go for it again, and she just refuses bit by bit. She just gets stronger and stronger as her hand shakes, and you feel like a sharp pain in your hand as electricity crackles through her until eventually she gets your arm over.
I'm kind of Eren's indignant about the fact that he got zapped on the head. Super unhappy about this.
Somebody passes her a jug of wine. She starts drinking it, and they're saying, "All right, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right, it's all right." And as she calms down, your hair starts to go back down, and the weird wind rustling through stops.
Eren's trying to keep a very light-hearted air about him, seeing this. Oh well. I mean, I couldn't have expected to take the whole thing away. I mean, it's quite clear that you're a celebrated veteran in many battles. Maybe I just took you by surprise, but shall we finish this now or later?
She wants to go again. She wants to go it now. She wants to do it again now. She's still like that pissed her the hell off.
All right. Eren, after what just happened, Eren has no idea if this could kill him or not. But you know what? He's done dumb things. He's fragged kids. You know, he realizes that if this is his time to go, then it will be him on the floor and her saying, "It's just business, kid." He's rolling.
All right, I'll roll first this time. All right, I rolled a 13. You got a 13. She manages to win over again. It's a nice fight. It's a good struggle, but she does manage to get you down on the table.
How easy can Eren play this off as just fun and games and not too serious? Because he's more concerned about not dying than saving face.
Seeing this,
Go ahead.
Lysha might walk over and be, "Oh, it's okay. You lost again."
When did I lose last time? I beat him up the hill. I beat Thoras up the hill. 100%.
I don't think so. I don't think that happened.
He's got a fragile ego.
Well, Eren will respectfully excuse himself from the table, hoping that he's at least garnered some respect from these people, but a little frustrated he didn't have another trinket to add to his arsenal.
Yeah, they let you go, and they seem to, most of the people around them, they've got one eye on her, but other than that, they're in good spirits. This is all in good fun for them.
Ooh, I didn't die. Let's go.
All right. Anything else, or would you all like to take a much-needed long rest?
Definitely down to rest.
Time, I think. Yep.
All right. You may take a long rest.
You know what? It's been so long. I've actually forgotten how to do it on this thing.
There should be a long rest
is it?
button that you can click.
Oh, there is.
It's been
underneath.
like 3 game sessions without a long rest.
Yep. It's been
Trust
a
me,
while.
Lysha's feeling it more than anyone. 0 spells.
I had one wild shape left. And apparently a random use of cure wounds. Thanks for that, chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go pop Tylenol real fast and be right back.
All right. No worries. The rest of you, if you need a moment to do anything, or if you have any questions or things you want to do at the feast, or anything like that, we have a moment since Lysha is...
If we have a moment...
We do.
Can I ask, one of the more venerable-looking elders about this sword? Like, how it works, if it has some sort of properties, or otherwise try and find a way, because Eren has a huge chip on his shoulder about being unable to pacify one of these Knights of Terra Nimbus. He fucking hates it, especially because it happened in front of Thoras. So he is trying to find a slightly less brute force way of beating them. So, I mean, he's going to try and ask about this sword and see if he can have it appraised and
Appraised.
He can actually use it.
see how much it's worth.
He's not giving it to Khajiit. He just wants to know how to use it.
Khajiit does well, as if you have coin. Yeah, so Nalri, the one who is in a dueling banjos with Allan O'Dale, is the most knowledgeable of the Aurai.
Okay.
And she's able to shed some light on it. The blades of the Knights of Terra Nimbus are forged of sky steel. It's normally mined by the Grafa, the ice dwarves. And worked in the forges of the storm giants. By itself, the steel has no special properties, but it is a conduit for magical energy, especially the power of wind and storms and that sort of thing. In the hands of the Knights of Terra Nimbus, it becomes a natural, again, a conduit for their power and for their energy. You could awaken its abilities a number of different ways. If there is any sort of special power within you, and she gives you a strange look for a moment, then you could find a way to tap into that. But it would take a deed of great heroism and symbolic power to awaken it. Or you could stick it in a storm cloud or something like that, and it would soak some of that up.
Okay.
One or the other.
Yeah.
All right.
You have options.
Cool.
What if I called lightning to it?
It would.
Yeah, I think Eren has too much pride to cheat with this sword. Oh, yeah. He's happy with that answer. Yeah.
You fragged a kid though.
Listen, that kid had a weapon, bro. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
He was running away. He was helpless.
well, yeah,
He was helpless.
Yeah, I was pissed off. It was a bad day. You know, we were trying to river dwarves and talking fish and hats of disguise that didn't work. Like, bro, I was over it.
Snails.
Alika's just sitting up against the table on her third chicken. She has no idea what the rest of you are up to.
We're doing a great job of interacting with Olika, actually. Great stuff, guys.
All right, you take a much-needed long rest. The sunlight begins to filter through the cloud, giving us a sort of translucent gray illumination, passing through the strange shadows of the blue forest growing out of the sides of this cloud cavern. Your beds and accommodations are sort of open air. The structures built into the side of the cloud. There are large open windows with no shutters, so there's a breeze the whole time. It gets a little chilly. But they have down comforters like you would not believe, since there's an infinite supply of feathers around. You pass a lovely night. The next morning, you are called back to the plaza for breakfast and deliberations. Any objections or business to attend to before you go?
I don't
Thoras
think so.
wants breakfast.
Yeah.
What about second breakfast?
I want my Vita 11s.
We haven't got there yet. I don't know if there are sky halflings. I haven't gotten that deep into the lore yet.
It would be very strange for the halflings to live in the sky.
Yes, they're not suited for it. There are sky dwarves.
Really?
Yeah, but
that is strange.
they're made of snow and ice. They mine pure white diamonds from these giant snow clouds. They're very odd. Eat a full
Sounds cool.
celestial. All right. So the next morning, they gather you back together, and it seems that over the night you made a good impression, for the most part. And they're willing to share with you a few pieces of information, and they would like to make a deal. Tell us of your quest for Cryos.
What are you talking about?
Not you, Thoras.
Okay. Sorry.
We have been on a long journey in order to find important artifacts. You see, the kingdoms that we come from on the ground, many feet below you, are at the verge of a civil war. The rightful heir must be found to the kingdom, and in order to do that, we must find
The Book of Dawn.
the Book of Dawn. We must access door magic.
Door magic.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
And in doing so, we seek three relics that would allow us to pass into this realm, to access this book in the first place. And somehow we need to get it out of the grip of Ioth's devoted.
We know of Dawn magic. Well, some of us do. The warrior sort of, Letri, the one you were arm wrestling with, who seems to be a little bit... She's still eyeing you, but you're not sure if it's with contempt or respect or some mixture of the two. She has no idea what they're talking about, but Dekek, the albino, and Nalri, the cantor, the singer, they know what Dawn magic is. They've heard these legends before, and Nalri's even heard of Cryos. We may be able to help you, but we need help ourselves. Our home, Hreidur, has become entangled in the Morasse, the great swamp of smoke and smog. We ran into it a week ago, and it has enmeshed our home. In the Sky Kingdom, every cloud, every land is completely the wrong word, every cloud is free moving. It floats upon the winds. And with the power of the winds, we were guiding ours towards a hope that could possibly protect us from the Sky Sovereign for the long term. When we became enmeshed with the morass, and now we're stuck. And the longer we remain here, the more likely it is that the Knights of Terra Nimbus will find us. They're already patrolling around. They know to look out for this area. They're already suspicious. But as long as we remain entangled with the morass, the danger increases. We do not dare leave. If we're spotted or seen by the Knights of Terra Nimbus, they will know something's up, and they'll come and find us. But you could go into the morass and deal with this problem for us.
How do you chop morass? I have tried. You cannot chop it.
At the heart of the morass lies a great tree of spun smoke, the umbral banyan. Deal with that, force it to withdraw its roots, and we may go free.
I take a moment to interject and I point my finger at the general, the one eyeing me off contemplatively, and loudly declare that we are now off to solve their problems for them. And I hope that this favor would be returned on the battlefield in the future. Just to antagonize her slightly, because I assume we're all doing it. Like, it doesn't seem unreasonable, especially if it was a part of the deal to let us leave. Like, yeah.
But before we just head off into the night, we must know more of this. I mean, it must be dangerous, otherwise you would have done it yourselves.
Don't chop
Why?
the morass,
Would
chop
I
the
have?
smoke tree.
Would I know anything about this smoke tree?
Nature?
Okay.
I'm also gonna just ask them if they can spare a guide to take us through
I've got nature.
26.
the area.
I didn't mean to do it the second time. The first one was a 26, so
Okay.
nat 20.
Yes.
Ooh.
So the morass is a swamp in the sky. Instead of water, it has pools of liquid smoke and smog. And the trees there are wispy things barely contained inside of a bizarre membrane. It's infested with smoglins, these little spirits of pure smoke that will try to trick you and drown you in these poisonous pools and take all your things. You got 26?
Yeah.
The whole morass is suffused with the roots of the umbral banyan, the shadow tree, and it's believed to possess a baleful will of its own that thrives on taking the breath from travelers, suffocating them, and then leaving their corpses at its roots so that it can feast and grow. You also know that there is an apex predator inside the morass, a dragon.
You telling
Okay,
us
I
this?
would share all of that information.
We have to go now.
A fucking dragon?
Thoras, this is one of the things that Thoras needs to cross off Thoras' list.
Thoras, these pigeons are trying to get us killed.
No. The pigeons are trying to achieve greatness.
But
We
Thoras,
cannot kill
you've
dragon.
never slain a dragon before. Oh, mime. Sweet summer child.
Me?
Don't worry, we'll show you the way.
You slain dragons?
Of course, yes. One or
Thoras
two
is
here or
taken.
there.
Thoras is taken aback. His worldview has been shattered.
See, what you really need to know about killing dragons, Thoras, is that they are social creatures.
Wait, you've killed a
Thoras, no,
dragon?
social.
Oh yes, of course. Well, many times.
When?
Oh, dragons knee high like this, sort of, frills and just sort of
Knee
run around, climb
high?
up trees. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't killed a dragon.
Nonsense. They were dragon. In the melt, they are dragons. I've not seen them anywhere else. I assume that they were. I mean, what's the problem here?
You
how
killed
big
a
were they?
lizard.
I've seen lizards. Lizards are yay
How-
big. They
how
climb
did you
amongst
deal-
your
How did you deal with the breath?
Wait,
you see, the
wait.
breath. It's
Lysha.
very smelly. Try and stand down.
And then Lysha's gonna turn into a giant lizard.
Yes, a
Did
dragon.
it look
See,
like
look.
this?
I
Like
draw my
many just
blade.
like this.
I draw my blade.
DKEX says,
The morass is here.
Thoras, just magic. Morass.
Magic.
Yes.
Magic, Thoras. It's
Still-
a
I
joke.
did not want to waste
Remember-
a wild shape, but it was
Remember
worth
that the ha ha ha, Thoras, the ha ha.
Not a funny joke.
This very funny joke. You have
If
got to
it
learn
was-
social norms.
If it was funny, I would have laughed.
All right. The last time we encountered a dragon, we were placed in thrall of it, and we still are bound to it.
So giant lizard, by the way, is like 5 feet. It's
Mhm.
not. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm not like a dragon size.
Right.
When you said knee high lizard, so that's why I was making fun of you and turned into a big
Yeah.
lizard.
But I mean, Eren knows what a dragon is. We've dealt with, like I'm literally trying to get money to a fucking sea dragon. You know, like
How? But I don't understand how.
True.
How will we deal with the breath? Many of my chieftains have tried to conquer dragons before, and they have always fell. And that's just how the new chieftains come up, and then they fail.
What you need to do, Thoras, is make sure that someone else gets hit by the breath while you go for the throat.
Ah.
This is why friends are good to have.
Alan.
No, no. I want to cut this.
Look like great bait.
Yes, you great beta.
I rate 8 out of 8. No debate.
Push B. I hope.
I'm not a fan of this plan. Why did you not tell us there was a dragon? Why did I have to learn it from my druid friend?
Also, just so you know, Joe, sorry,
No, go
because
ahead.
it sounds like it's going to be relevant. I have advantage against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement.
That's severely relevant.
Oh wow,
Um,
dude, your character is actually so min-maxed.
Yeah, busted, bro.
which patch was it that druids were just OPF?
I'm going to say it's 3.5.
So-
So you have advantage against what? Sorry, Ashley?
Plants that are magically created to or manipulated to impede movement.
Alright,
Impede movement.
I have advantage against enemies that we face that have one leg. Are called Brian, and yeah, carry 2 small daggers, but only small ones. So,
I
what's your
can't
point?
be charmed or put to sleep magically.
That's the elf thing.
That's normal elf.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I have advantage on maintaining concentration spells when I take damage.
That's handy.
Well,
Anyway.
Thoras is convinced, and Thoras is ready to set off. And if they're not coming, so be it. Thoras has all the glory.
Just-
Eren
Have
is
the,
looking for glory. He
have
wants
the
to.
Arakukras answered at all? Our pleas of
yes,
why?
the dragon is not the problem. The banyan is the problem. The dragon just
thought I
lives
explained that.
there.
Bunions? You fly. How do you have bunions?
But no, but
I'm gonna
but-
try.
Tree.
Damn it! I'm gonna turn
The
back from a lizard
banyan
and
is
explain
the
it to
tree.
you.
You're not listening.
Oh, the tree. Mm.
These idiots.
Anyway, so do we expect this dragon to be hostile? Do we need to overcome this dragon by martial means?
The dragon likes to marinate its kills in the poisonous pools of the morass. It crawls and lurks and hunts and lets you know you've been seen and that it knows you're there so that it can stalk you and build up a nice level of fear. Makes the meat taste better.
But the tree is what we should be scared of. Let me get this straight. We're scared of a tree when there's a stalker dragon inside this fucking smoke cloud. Am I
Yes,
correct?
I assure you, the tree is absolutely infinitely more dangerous.
What? No, it's the dragon. The whole reason we're doing this is for the dragon.
Listen, you show me
Yes,
what
the
you
dragon
show
is
me what to
very
chop.
flashy,
I chop
big
it.
mountain
I
man.
chop a tree? Fine. I chop a dragon? Fine. Show me where the tree or dragon may be.
Finally, someone speaking sense.
This is going to go very poorly, very quickly.
Actually, you seem to be an expert on these things. So I'm sure that, with this boundless knowledge that you have, that you can
Look,
help us
there's a
formulate a plan.
chance that we don't even see the dragon, and if we don't, I'd consider us lucky. So let's just focus on the tree, shall we?
I will follow your lead, Captain.
It will be the ground will be littered with corpses. I assure you. So whatever your name is,
Thanos.
Thanos.
that it will
All that for
it'll
a drop
prove
of blood.
a very worthy foe.
Well, Eren's on board. Because he knows he wants to leave at some point. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The beer here,
Sure.
not that great. The wenches
Yeah.
don't really seem to be interested in Asmar. So, he would like to go and frolic amongst the meadows in the Cloud Kingdom and get this fucking book. So if that means he can leave, then he's down for it. Some glory, killing dragons. Eren's not smart enough to really consider the ramifications as far as his self-preservation goes. He's on board. It's a jaunt. A jolly adventure.
Are you not smart enough?
Wow. He is
You're
smart
like
enough,
an
he just has-
intelligence of 12.
Yeah, but he's just reckless and has very little care for himself.
I'm still not convinced. I'm going to do my darndest to try and persuade these people to give us at least a guide to be able to come along with us. We're groundlings wandering around on a cloud, and we're your only chance.
listen.
You've got to give us some kind of guide to be able to
You
go along with
you
us.
don't have to worry about dragon. Thoras will handle the dragon.
I'm not worried
Do you
about
have any
dragon.
kind
I'm
of
worried about
flying
falling through the cloud.
steeds we might be able to borrow?
Give any flying steeds.
Any assistance, please. We entertained you last night. We we're keeping your secret. We're doing your work for you, and the least you could do is to
I love
aid us. in
Eren
our
and
quest.
Thoras are already like sparring to get warmed up, and they're just hyped. And you two are like appealing to the elders, like, "We're gonna fucking die." We're just like, "Yeah."
They speak sense, though. Only a foolish Goliath will run into danger without preparation.
Yeah, I've seen you do it a couple of times, and I'm not a big fan.
Thoras has always been prepared
Okay.
at
Well-
all times.
Well, is there anything you can do to help us? You are the people that benefit the most from our success, apart from us, because we'll stay alive. But after that, you.
We'll do you one better. You can, instead of just leaving, you can come with us.
Where are you going?
All four of the council leaders look at each other for a moment. You sense a mote of, if not hostility, at least disagreement amongst them. You're seeking an artifact of power. Wherever we go, I assure you there is one there.
Ah, you've seen it. You know of it.
Not so much.
Speaking riddles, pretty birds.
All right, give me one moment. There is a disagreement amongst the elders where to go to seek shelter. They have 3 choices right now. Some of them, far to the south, in the winds that blow over the great wastes, lies the cloud palace of Rosis, a mighty and beneficent genie, a Jinn of the winds, who may grant us a boon and protect us. I'm positive that a genie will have something that can help you. Others want to go find the Sky Sovereign's daughter and ask for her help. Railta.
Why would she help us? Saying Eren says that far too familiarly because obviously that's you, not us. But you know,
Right. So Dekek and Nalri both look at you, Eren. Railta, the Star Kindler, Defiant Daughter, Mother of Celestials.
Eren looks back at them blankly.
Would I know anything about her?
Yes. Almost certainly roll. Anyone who does religion, arcana, or history may roll.
No way Eren knows about this.
But you have to tell me what skill you used and what you got.
Shit, I rolled twice again. I used religion, I got a 19.
History
first roll.
23.
Great. Railta is a Titan, one of the offsprings of the Sovereigns. If the Sovereigns are like the bigwig gods, Titans are the next rank down. She is the offspring of Vindor and Liban, the Sovereign of the Seas. After Arakura was slain and the Infernals ravaged the world and ruled it for 400 years, the barrier at the edge of the world was weakened, and a great evil, a great horror entered the world. The One Flesh fell from the sky. Liban now wrestles it beneath the sea. When that happened, Vindor's daughter, Railta, decided that what the Sovereigns were doing to keep the world safe was not enough. She bypassed her father, passed through the celestial lights, the northern lights, and created the Celestials, the stars, lit them across the very firmament of creation to stand guard over all 4 kingdoms against anything else that comes from the hungry darkness. When she did that, she literally went over her father's head. He is incredibly pissed off at her. She does not care. She is the progenitor of all Celestials.
Okay.
Do we know that Eren is a Celestial at this point? Have you popped your wings?
He has
Yeah.
popped
Yeah.
his
You guys have
wings.
seen it.
We
He
do
is-
know.
Right.
You don't know the
If
full
you-
relation. You know there's some connection there.
Right.
If you guys know that I am an Azamar, then you haven't told me because I don't know.
I told
Yeah.
you that last campaign. You
She-
just looked at me and said you didn't know what it meant.
That seems consistent. He doesn't know what it means, and he's convinced that he's just some weird shit going on. I think it's Eren knows that something's up because he has these fucking dreams, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he just doesn't. He hasn't the time to interpret them.
Well, hearing this, I'd probably look at you and say, your creator.
My creator is 6 feet under. My treacherous father is God knows where.
No,
She might
She
know.
star being creating me.
she created your kind.
Okay, so what is she, God?
For you, essentially.
I'm not a religious person, so I'm sure when I meet them, I'll
No,
give
but
them a
you
firm
are.
handshake and look them in the
But
eye
you
and say,
are a
"Thanks."
celestial. Help me out here, Alan.
Only a
I've given
little.
up on him.
You're a celestial.
Thoras, you don't even know what that means.
Celestial.
Yes,
You can't even
that's what they're
pronounce
telling
it.
me.
You're an Asimar.
Excuse, I'm a what?
Asimar.
Yes, I've heard that. I've heard that said before. Listen, this is immaterial. This is honestly, there's a dragon. There's a thorny bush of smoke that needs to be smoked.
You can fly. You are human. You pop wings. You
I can fly because I'm
are a
extraordinary
defender of
individual.
humanity created by her
He
to
is so
protect the
dense.
world for all time. Are you
Your
really
head
unaware
is
of
like-
this?
Just ignoring.
Is this actually news to you?
This feels like Hermione Granger turned up to 11 and Eren just does not give a shit.
You are like your head is filled with little gravel bits that you find in rock fruit.
Rock fruit.
Lysha is finding
that's
that
canon
Thoras
now.
makes a
Rock
strange
fruit are
kind of
canon.
sense.
Dekek says, "Come back after Morasse. Can tell you, can show you."
Very well.
Okay, let us go.
Wait,
Let's go
You
find
still haven't
Morasse.
decided where you are going, whether to the gin or to the daughter.
Morasse.
I'm gonna take some of the feathers out of my bag and shove them into Thoras' mouth.
So
You
Latri,
said there was a third option. A
Latri-
third option.
the general of the Aurei, says, "Yes, thank you. Notus, Vindur's son, the South Wind, has lost his horse." And with
Oh
That's
no!
that's not in character. We don't know about any of that, right? But
No,
Yes.
that's not
Amusing.
character.
his steed is enthralled to some mortal sorcerer. We take Hreidur, we ride the winds south, we find him, and we take him hostage. And then the Sky Sovereign won't dare to touch us.
So only one of these sounds like it helps us.
Oh,
Well-
a genie, the Queen of Stars, or the literal son of the Sky Sovereign and the South Wind, they will have some very fun toys.
Thoras, I bet, as a warm up for the Sky Sovereign, beating up and kidnapping his son would be a pretty good start, right?
Or daughter. Thoras.
No.
No, daughter's
no.
fine. Daughter's on our side.
No,
Daughter's
we don't
good.
beat up daughter.
Either will work.
No, either will not work.
Thoras does not discriminate. I don't know what kind of
No.
race you are. You think what? The different sexes are weaker. Goliaths are all strong.
No.
Eren chimes in.
Nope.
What do we care about a random horse from a random guy when the Queen of Stars, the literal, I'm sorry, you were saying, Lysha, my progenitor, the Queen of Stars awaits for us to attend her. We want to chase down a fucking bronco. in
Wait,
the
now you
clouds.
care? You didn't want to listen to me 5 minutes
Yes,
ago.
because this definitely seems like the most attractive of all of those three prospects.
Why are we not at the dragon?
I think the
I
genie
don't
makes the
understand what
most
is wrong
sense.
with you people.
If you release Hreidur from the roots of the Umbral Banyan, you may come with us, whichever of these three places we decide to
Okay.
go.
We'll decide later then. We've got to chop these. The
This
dragon
still
first.
does not
Yes.
help us.
Okay, listen. The small little puny bard is worried about the dragon because he thinks Thoras is not
worried.
strong enough. Bard is very dumb. But to appease him,
fruit,
I
you
learned
said.
that word recently. To appease
Three
him,
syllables, nice.
anything you give us, to help. Maybe. Listen, Thoras did not get this far by not turning down a little bit of help.
A flying steed would be of little help to you. The cloying smoke of the morass obscures it and would choke the lungs of any skyborn creature. What else could we do?
Have any charted any ways into the morass? Even a short distance, any maps you might
Give me
have
one
would
of those
be helpful.
pick-sticking blades that I didn't
What
win
is that going to
in
do
the arm
against the
wrestle.
dragon?
Wow, it'll slip between its scales quite
Would
nicely.
you?
So will my axe.
I maintain a map would be the most useful.
Oh, a map is fine, but
What about a bigger axe?
You
don't
have
think
the
they make them
biggest
bigger.
axe we've ever seen. Those aren't
We
practical
could-
weapons around here.
What
I've never
that
seen an
axe
axe
do,
that
friend?
big. What that axe do?
It's a big axe.
All right. We can provide you with a map that will at least show you part of the way, but beware, the morass is ever shifting and ever changing, so it will be of limited use.
Say the morass
Fine.
Turk. All right.
Fine. You have been little help, I must say. You must meet your
Alan, shut up.
your offers once we succeed.
They
Oh
fed
my
and watered
God,
us, Alan.
Alan.
That's fine.
Our word is our bond. We
Yes.
will keep you safe and let you travel with us and put in a good word for you with whichever unearthly power we decide to cross ways with to help you get the relic you need to complete your quest.
Know this, whatever my traveling companions say, we should have helped you anyway, for it is the right thing to do.
I
And we
just-
shall do it.
I just pointed the general, swaggering past as we leave. I guess we're off to do your dirty work then, aren't we? Oh, one arm wrestle victory, and all of a sudden I'm okay. Fair enough.
Thoras, do not disrespect my sponsor. So sponsor.
She's your sponsor?
Yes,
I can't imagine why.
because I'm stronger than you. That is why.
Are you
Let's just
stronger than
go.
her?
Okay, I'm gonna. Have we received the
Keep
map at this
trying.
point?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the map and we'll set off, I suppose.
All right.
Well,
I'll be honest with you. It's somewhat helpful, but really it mostly says, here's big, giant, bad thing. Don't step in that. Go that way towards middle. It will get you started along the way.
Then I'm gonna leave muttering and grumbling under my breath about fucking useless birds.
Oh, Alan, you already got so busy. We were here one night.
There's some feathers in your teeth. What's
Listen.
going on here?
I'm a known performer.
Like, she's just like, I don't get it.
All right.
Thoras, it's joke. She didn't understand. Please lecture her.
I laughed. Good joke.
What was the joke? Why
The
was it
joke.
funny?
Well, the joke is that they were useless. Of course they're not useless. They're very useful. Look what they built all these things. They're very useful, Lysha. That's why it's funny.
That's
because
why
you
funny.
said something that wasn't true. In jest.
Oh.
All right.
All right, away we go.
Where is the dragon?
So, remember, the dragon, all you know is that it hunts within the morass. Your map will lead you roughly to the center where the shadow tree grows. But the dragon is an unknown factor at this time.
I will stalk him.
So, you have a map. We're going to handle this as another skill challenge. The result of the skill challenge will determine how bad of a time you have when you get there. The map already puts one win on the board, but each of you will need to figure out some other way to help navigate through the morass. And as you go there, it is literally the spongy cloud beneath you starts turning this soot color, mixture of ash and this sickly brown. With every step, little clouds of dust come up. The air becomes foul, both with this putrid smell and just cloying smoke as if from the biggest fire, every fire that has ever burned on the world below, rising into this one place. In places, the cloud slopes down and just this pool of brownish, filthy goo squirms and wiggles, and There are trees here, but they are not made of wood. They literally are filled with smoke. Smoke spun together into something solid. Its surface almost like ash, and if you ever bump into it or touch it, bits and pieces of ash and smoke leak away from it. It's horrible to breathe here as you press deeper and deeper. I will need something from each of you how you will help navigate through the morass.
I will use my survival skills from my time hunting the orc tribes in the swamps of Maharul.
Okay, which I now have to put on the map.
Bless you.
Yes. Well, that's the orcish name for it. You know, it's what the orcs called it.
All right.
So
Roll survival and give us the result.
12.
12. The swamps of Mahru were like this and yet not like this. And as you stumble along the way, you fall upon 5 gifted subs. Thank you very, very much. Add those to your inventory. That will be 1 failure on the board, which is going to make life a little bit rougher. Who wants to go next?
I will go.
All right, and also, Ash and Mitch, you're a little choppy right now.
Oh, okay.
Something's probably up with our internet, unfortunately, then.
It happens.
It's raining like crazy pants here, so that might be why.
All right.
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can. You're a little robotic, but I can hear you.
It sounds better for me now.
Yeah, I think it's improving. Go ahead, Lysha. What will you do?
Okay. I will. So, because I grew up in the forest, I feel like I'm fairly comfortable in forest-like areas, even though this is kind of a gross, spooky, whatever one. These things still resemble trees, so I still feel more at home here than I probably have for a while.
Yes, I need to stop you for a moment. We have hit an act of God.
Oh no!
Oh, for God's sake!
And since you have
literally
one,
which one? We're about to find out. And since the action was on you, why don't you roll a d20?
Okay.
And then just announce the results for the chat.
How do I just roll a d20?
So
in the chat.
In the chat, right there. I see it.
Yeah, space r/1d20.
That didn't work.
No, on the left-hand side, that little taskbar where it has like the arrow, the paintbrush.
Oh, I
go
see
down
it.
to the dice.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
roll a D20.
Yeah.
1d20. Okay.
Click on where it says D20.
3.
Oh no.
Okay.
That long rest, actually, yeah. You're ready to use it.
As you are wandering and preparing to use your knowledge of the woods, even though this is an alien landscape, like you said, you lived in the autumn woods of Fomhor, and so you should know your way around. You see something moving in the tree next to you. It's a snake.
Oh.
It is snake. It is very out of place here. Instead of being made from smoke or wind or something like that, it has brilliant green scales.
May I cast Speak with Animals?
Yes.
Ooh.
Cool.
Pog.
I'm gonna cast first level Speak with Animals for 10 minutes. I gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts.
It's already working.
Despite my inability to communicate with humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, noticing this snake, kind of cast this spell and ask it what it was doing here.
Autumn's daughter, are you lost?
Hmm.
I wouldn't say lost so much as seeking.
Is this Satan in the Garden of Eden?
What do you seek? Perhaps I can help.
We seek a way to the center of the morass that we may set free a stranded city.
I have secrets of this place that may help you.
Would you be willing to share these secrets?
I'd be willing to trade for them.
And what is it you'd hope to trade for? P.S. You guys are just hearing me like.
Yeah,
Yeah. Half
Big-
tongue.
big
Yeah.
Harry Potter energy. Yes.
Tom Riddle did nothing wrong. Yeah.
No.
I will
I
trade
don't
you.
know what just happened to my camera.
It got all wobble.
There we go.
All right, there we
I
go.
must not have autofocus off.
There,
You'll trade me what?
there is a terrible danger in this place that could be your best help and could loose the burden that all your companions, well, 2 of your companions suffer from. All you need is the right words to the right creature. I will share those with you. A truth for an untruth.
You speak in riddles, Snake.
I will tell you how to loose your hidden city without drawing a drop of blood.
Okay. What's the catch?
You must not go to the Court of Stars. And you must not let your companion go to the Court of Stars.
Why?
That's not part of the deal.
Hmm.
No one knows what he's said but me.
That's right. You have to
Mhm.
deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The danger in this place is terrible. I assure you.
Do you also have a way of convincing my foolhardy companions that they won't be fighting dragons, because that would be challenging?
Yes, I can help. I'm very persuasive.
I'm very concerned as to what the fuck you are now. Friend, forgive me. I have not yet asked your name, and I certainly can't help a stranger.
I'm not giving you that name. Let me see if I have any other titles. I would trade names. If I may have your name, I will tell you mine.
Lysha knows about what names have power and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
She would know that there's power in giving her name to this creature.
Mm-hmm.
Is she getting any kind of like creepy vibes off this? Like Ashley certainly is. Like, what kind of a vibe is Lysha getting here?
Severe intelligence, and like I'm not playing this very
I've
subtly. I'll admit it,
never
so,
talked to a snake this smart.
Yeah,
The
this.
fish was screaming, man.
That was one of my favorite improv moments. Oh my god. I talked to the fucking fish. God. Yeah, no, this is you weren't this isn't a snake. And you did not need the spell.
Okay,
But the spell allows you to talk snake language.
gotcha. Well, I thought it was a snake, and I certainly thought I needed the spell at first.
That's fine. You had every reason
So,
to suspect that.
Whatever, I cast the spell, and I'm speaking to it in snake language,
Mhm.
at which point, halfway through this conversation, I'm going to stop speaking snake language, look at the snake kind of sideways, and go, "You speak common, don't you?"
You just trying to get us to help you with this?
Yeah, so you guys hear you speak common, don't you?
Basically.
Who the fuck are you talking
is-
to?
This
snake.
non-snake, it's not a snake. I assure you, that beast is dangerous. We
I've
should
seen
move on
many
immediately.
snakes.
Don't listen
That looks
to
like
it.
a snake.
It's not a snake. It's an
If it looks like
incredibly
a snake-
dangerous beast that just offered us a peaceful resolution. If I keep him from ever going to the Court of Stars, oopsies, the cat's out of the
Hey!
bag. I guess
Why
we
does
can't
this
do that
snake-
now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It responds still in snake language. I see we won't be making any deal today. I guess I'm going to have to keep this knowledge to myself. Though, there's another in this place that I'm sure could use that information of your presence in its domain.
What is he saying?
I'm sorry, what?
He's threatening to alert the dragon that we're here.
What is he
Oh,
saying?
no. He's threatening to sick the dragon or something on us.
I pulled my great axe and charge at the snake.
Does anybody do anything else?
I'm at the same time. I'm gonna cast suggestion on the snake as well.
Okay.
I enter a barbaric rage and attempt to grapple the snake.
Oh my god, who is this snake? Did the snake never give me a name?
It didn't. It didn't. I was looking up to see if I have any fancy titles that it could call itself.
Son of a bitch.
To avoid giving away its name.
Do I? No, I don't
Okay,
think
roll
Thoras
for
would be that smart.
You know what? Let's just do. We'll go around the great cube. Thoras, roll. You're gonna grapple the snake, right?
I'm gonna fucking enter a rage. The logic in Thoras's head is, I've just seen a very one-sided conversation occur where Lysha has convinced the snake speaks common, and she's just said that it's a dangerous beast that's going to alert the presence of the dragon. And suddenly the lines are connecting in Thoras's mind. The synapses are firing, and I'm like, he can lead us to the dragon. He can lead me to glory.
Oh
So
no.
the only goal in my mind right now is to capture this snake alive and force it to speak with me and tell me where this dragon is. So I am going to enter a rage
Okay.
and grapple the snake.
Roll an athletics check with advantage and call out your results. Because again, I don't have a full battle mat drawn up for this, so.
Fucking hell, really? 13.
Okay.
You're pretty girthy, Bren. It's not easy to, sleep in and out.
Muscles
+6
too
though.
huge. All right, you reach out and you just grab it, and you've got it in both hands. Moving. Lysha was just engaged. Sideshow. What is Allan O'Dale? You're gonna cast suggestion.
It depends. How well does it look like he's got this snake under control?
You are not convinced the snake even tried to escape.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
I'm gonna cast suggestion on this snake. Yeah,
Okay.
which is a Wisdom 16 save, as long as it can be charmed.
Okay. And then you have no idea if your spell worked or not. What do you suggest?
I'm suggesting that it. Lysha definitely said that it was going to alert the dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. Though that's not actually what it told me factually. But
Okay, but I'm just working off what you've said.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell it to stop resisting and lead us quietly to the dragon.
Okay. Eren Vol, are you doing anything during this round, basically?
Eren is incredibly indignant that a random snake's come up and told him that he can't go to the Queen of Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this just sounds like something he's just interested in, and for whatever reason he's compelled. So no, I think he probably would have tried to reach out and stop Thoras, but I suggested rolling some sort of check to stop him. Let's be honest, he probably didn't. He was probably a little bit too slow. So he's looking slack-jawed,
All right, well,
gaping like a mullet.
I didn't check in with you, so if you want to reach out to stop him, we can do that if you'd like.
I don't think I think he's just generally confused about what's
Okay.
just transpired. I don't think he connected the dots as quick as even Thoras did. So
That's a bad day.
yeah.
All right. So going back to the top, Thoras, you have the snake. Allan O'Dale just put an enchantment and said, "Lead us peacefully and quietly to the dragon."
I grab the snake. I say, "Little snakey, I do not want to hurt you, but I will if you do not lead me to the dragon." Listen. I've never killed a snake before. It would be nice to kill you, but I think I need to be in top fighting condition for when I kill this dragon. Do you know where he is? Oh, okay.
did
take
I
it as a
understand
yes.
that?
Yes, you understand. It didn't say anything. It just flitted its tongue out at him.
What
Okay, good.
is your name?
I will take that as a yes.
It looks at you, Lysha, and you didn't know snakes could smile.
Can I smell the snake for the stench of the orcish tribes that were rallied underneath the banner of Azul?
You don't smell any of that.
Oh, well. Well, I thought I'd. No, that's just me.
All right. Well, I'm going to run out of time with this one eventually, but I know you speak something else, so now I'm going to start going in primordial and see if it understands that.
It flits its tongue out at you, and then
All right. How about druidic, elvish, common?
Thoras, it turns its head and doesn't try to get away, but it's sort of in a direction.
Oh. Come follow the snake, everybody.
Don't trust it.
Wait, but I'm in a rage, so I would be like, follow the snake! We ride for war! And I'm galloping.
Oh no, it's actually showing us the way without telling us its name. I suggest we ignore
I'm
everything
galloping
involving the
in
snake
the
and just
direction of the
move
snake.
on. Move, fuck.
All right, Thoras.
I mean,
Yeah.
By the way, do I know whether my suggestion has been successful?
Well, it appears to be doing what you asked it to, but you cannot feel whether the magic took hold or not.
Right. Okay.
I chase after Thoras.
Okay,
I
so
don't
the
think
two
this
meatheads
is a good
are
idea.
following the snake into the morass.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
If
I'm,
only Allan and Lysha got along better.
I'm going through afterwards. I'm following them, but I'm carefully observing the map and trying to see my way through as well. I'm not
All
going
right.
to run into any dodgy stuff.
So, I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is you are going completely the wrong direction on the map.
Okay.
The good news is it constantly points itself in directions that take you around every single hidden bramble and hangman tree and puddle of acidic flesh-melting smog. Just Thoras doesn't even notice these things. He's just following the snake, but you see him weaving this weird path around every single
I
obstacle.
just imagine him using it like a divining rod. Like,
Yep.
But we are, but okay, if we're going in the exact opposite direction of the tree, right? We're going in the opposite direction of the smoke tree. What does that? So we set off from an area, and like
Right.
the smoke tree's on the left, and we just went like hard right.
Well, I mean, the smoke tree's in the center, and you started at the outside. So if you were literally going the opposite way, you'd be going back to Hreidur. So
Right.
it's more that you're veering off by a significant degree.
Okay, we're kind of going around the outside rather than
Correct.
towards the center.
Correct.
Okay, all right. You know, at this point, the dragon's not going to be living in a fucking tree, is it? So I'm not feeling too suspicious. Like as long as it's taking us around the traps, I'm doing okay. I'm just keeping an eye on the map.
All right. Several hours. Go ahead.
Wing. That's it.
That's it? Okay. Your spell's going to wear off. This is going to take you several hours. Does anyone have anything to do aside from follow the snake?
If I become a snake, can I speak snake?
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty clear the snake doesn't want to speak to you.
Oh, yeah. The snake.
To be fair, I told it to be quiet. I told it to quietly lead us to the dragon. So as far as I'm concerned, it's doing its job. It's supposed to shut the fuck up.
That's a fair point. I don't imagine so. I mean, if we're just going past, I mean, this all seems to be going very quickly. Our time in the morass here. So, I mean,
Yeah.
what about Thoras's rage? You know, like how long has that lasted for?
Well, he doesn't take any damage and he doesn't make any attacks, so it goes away almost immediately.
Okay.
It's like a minute. I mean, anyways, so.
My suggestion would last for 8 hours. So
Mhm.
I'm not suspicious at any point. As long as it continues shutting up and leading us in a direction and avoiding shit, then
This
Mhm.
is
I
all
feel like
sounding
it's
good
probably
to
doing
me.
what I'm telling it.
I'm gonna I would like to just take a pause. Like while I can see them in the distance, it doesn't take all of that long
Mhm.
to use my druid craft to just check what the weather's like. You know, where we're at in the next 24 hours.
Hmm.
Oh, let's see. This is okay. That's what it's like in an hour,
Yeah.
3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah.
Choking clouds of hideous, deadly smog and light showers.
Checks out.
And light showers, great.
And light showers.
And light showers.
High pressure
Yes.
system moving through 4 p.m.
Excellent.
Get your raincoats out, Wichita, Kansas.
Excellent. Then along the way, I would like to do one more thing. I'm gonna try and see if while we're walking, I can try and talk to one of these trees.
Always a classic.
Because who knows what kind of trees these are, but they seem to be trees, so I think that they're plants. So I think that I might be able to speak with them.
Okay. And that's a spell, right?
It is a 3rd level spell.
Okay. The moment that you cast it, and now you can talk to trees. What do you do?
I would actually it doesn't give me the ability to talk to trees. It imbues the plants within me with a limited sentience and animation within a certain range. So it's all plants within 30 feet of me
Okay.
are now imbued with a limited sentience and animation, and the ability to communicate with me and follow my simple commands.
Okay.
Assuming they're not, aggressive.
Yeah, so you immediately learn something. There's a wide variety of different strange plants in this swamp, and most of those can now speak to you. But the trees of spun smoke, whenever they talk, all of them within 30 feet of you talk at the exact same time, and they say the exact same thing.
Oh, snap. They're all just offshoots of the tree in the center.
Like
Yes.
a hive-minded tree.
It's a big hive mind. I would immediately share this information.
You also learn things like it's watching you, it's hungry, but it hasn't killed you yet because it's curious and watching you.
Do I know
Wonderful.
if it knows what the snake is?
That's not a snake.
What is it?
That is from far, far from here.
Where are we? Am I
From
hearing
where?
these plants?
I think they can only communicate with her.
They
Oh.
can only communicate with me. But you see them moving about in strange ways. And I
Yeah.
wave my arm one direction just to make sure they're listening, and they all bend that way. And then
They
I
wave
wave
like they just don't care.
bend the other way.
Mhm.
Would you be sharing this knowledge, Lysha?
Yes, as I learn, I will share. So he's and it's hungry. Also, that's definitely not a snake, and it's from far, far away. Where is it from?
Down.
Down.
Oh
It's
no.
evil.
Oh no.
Well, you're evil, so I suppose that's relative.
This is a very simplistic moral framework you're working with here. They all say simultaneously surrounding you.
It is a very simplistic moral framework. You're absolutely correct. Listen, could I potentially implore upon you to just let an island go? And we'll just get out of your hair.
Thoras, you've never heard trees laugh before. But all the trees are laughing. You should probably laugh too.
Ah, oh.
I
What,
told nature a joke.
what do you give us?
What about this snake?
No.
Oh. What do you seek in exchange?
Light and life. We hunger.
And life. Lysha would pull a pocket of seeds out of her a handful of seeds out of her pocket. If I could make these grow and feed them to you, would that sustain you?
Flesh and breath.
Are you sharing this with us?
I would now
not.
that my seed plan has failed, I would in fact turn and share that with you.
Well, it is simple, isn't it? We
There
know
you
we
go.
are being hunted by the dragon,
The
so we
trees
would
wanna eat
kill
it.
the dragon and feed it to the tree.
Oh, that is simple.
Let's just do that.
Thoras, that was
I drop the snake and turn around and I try and find the dragon.
wait one moment. No, hold the okay.
I've dropped him. He's on the floor.
The snake
So I
moves
would
like
look at the tree.
10 feet away and then just stops and turns to look back at you. Sorry, Lysha, your turn. Go.
No, you're fine. That's irrelevant. That is relevant. I would ask the tree then if the dragon would constitute an equal trade.
Eat the dragon. The dragon feeds us. The dragon hunts for us. Eat the dragon. That's naughty. Yes. Yes.
Pinky smoke tree.
That's my cover band, Kinky Smoke Tree. Yes, yes. We would feast on the dragon.
Right. Do you know where we can find the dragon? Is this beast, this non-snake, leading us in the correct direction?
Yes.
Huh.
What?
And then where do we feed you?
We are everywhere.
Right, so if I just throw this dragon at a tree, we're okay?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
All right, so I like this idea, but that is assuming that the knee-high dragon is going to feed everybody.
Right. Oh, he laughed
that
at the
was
right
a
time.
funny joke,
By
Eren.
himself. And great tree of the morass, would you then let the island of the bird and flying elf people go that I forget the name of?
Hreidur.
Thank you.
Such sweet, clean rainwater to drink and make dark. For the dragon, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's get ourselves a dragon, partners.
Well, we have an accord then. One last question. May we have your word that until we succeed, or, the dragon kills us? If the dragon kills us, you may by all means eat us, of course. But
Thoras,
if
she thinks
we've
the dragon's gonna kill you.
got your word that until we face this dragon and you won't interfere.
The weak will live. No, that's wrong. It goes other way. Strong live, weak food.
Lysha, ask the tree if he can part the way to open up the dragon.
My companion would like to know if you can clear a path to the dragon for us.
Can't let it know. Can't let him know.
That's a hard no. He doesn't want to warn, or it doesn't want to warn him. I probably shouldn't.
I want to warn the
render a
dragon.
tree.
I want the dragon to fear.
Do you have this snake?
I dropped him.
Oh,
The
shit.
snake is
Snake
still
roll.
like
The
10
snake is still sitting 10 feet away.
It's already
Hello.
weaved around like some quick.
I have on a good authority from our tree friend here, unless of course that snake. Now, I don't think the tree likes that snake very much. However, it is leading us in the correct direction. So nothing makes sense.
Progress. That's another word I learned.
Still waiting for a 3-syllable one from you, though.
I see you over there counting the syllables in progress.
No. Let us go.
What? Yeah. I mean, I'm ready
Yeah.
for this dragon. I'm ready.
All
I
right.
think we follow the
Dragon.
snake, but
Yeah.
everybody sneak.
Tree of the morass. Well, I suppose we shall feed you later.
We are always watching.
What a cordial exchange with a
Wait, are
fucking
you-
tree.
Oh,
Tree- the
no, not
tree
just a
watching?
tree. It was actually quite fascinating. It's a hive mind. Every
Enough.
single one of these trees is
God.
connected and they're all the same. And you really aren't interested.
I mean, Eren is walking off while she's explaining this to you. But he's not. He wants to kill a dragon.
I think the
I've never
bees
seen
are
anything
very
like it.
interesting.
They are.
One time, Thoras was in the wastes, and he came across giant hornet's nest with jellified
Yeah.
bodies
You fucked the hornet. We
of
get
my
it.
tribe. No, my tribe died. This was a different
Oh, that
tribe.
sounds horrific. I'm so sorry.
I go through tribes like butter.
The butter. What do you use a
I
hot
don't
knife? You
think
just eat a lot
most
of
would
butter.
brag
You
of
are
that.
my new tribe now, but Thoras will always survive.
You have some deep issues.
We are just butter to you, Thoras.
To be spread on my blade, which I would then use to lubricate my way through enemies.
D&D
There's
tribe.
my That's my 3-syllable word. Lubricate.
Well, this has been great. This has been such a great exchange. Really
I
feeling
think the
enriched.
tree was more scintillating conversation. Maybe I'll talk to snakes again.
So we're just following the snake then.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like it. I like this odds. Lead on, snake. No, I'm gonna follow him.
all right.
Also,
This
Thoras,
snake.
lubricate.
Things I learned today is that Thoras uses butter as lubricant.
Yeah, but lubricant is a lot of syllables. So Thoras is leaps and bounds evolving.
Thoras stonks are up.
I'm gonna sneak though.
Okay, roll stealth.
I'm going to try and sneak like a snake as I'm following.
Actually, that's not a terrible plan.
Oh no.
No,
Nat
just
No
a moment.
fucking way,
Just a
dude.
moment.
Nat 20.
No.
It is now time for my least favorite spell in the game.
For pass without a trace?
My least favorite spell in the
Oh,
game.
dude, this spell sucks if you're DM. It actually sucks.
I would say pass without a trace. I like less than spike growth. If it was like my all-time least favorite spells, pass without a trace, then spike growth. It's that bad. All right, so now
Do you want me
everybody.
to remove it for next time?
No, absolutely not. No. It's a totally valid option. A good DM builds around it. They just,
You know, but it's just like a friendly game of Magic where you ban certain cards at your table because no one likes infinite win combos.
I have it as
Everything's
the dungeon
allowed.
master. Always has infinite win combos. So if the players have some, that's fine.
Reasonable.
Plus, like, it's one of the cool things about being a druid is that suddenly you can just say, "Hey, did you have an encounter planned? Not anymore. Fuck you. Plus 10 to stealth."
This spell is actually nuts.
All right. So the whole party, as long as you stay within like 30 feet or 10 feet, 10 feet,
30 feet.
30 feet. As long as you stay within 30 feet of Lysha, it's not invisibility. If somebody sees you, they see you, but you leave no trace. You're a very good Boy Scout, and you have plus 10 to your stealth checks. All right.
We're going on a dragon hunt.
Dude.
I wonder what we'll find.
So is the snake still leading us? Or the
Yes.
snake has... Okay.
We're
Does the
following
snake
it.
have
We're leading
stealth?
on, Yeah.
Yes. You can all see it fine, but it's making no sound.
Wow.
Wonderful.
After 2 more hours, it leads you into a. Let me just check something real quick. All right, I'll post it for chat later because we're not actually going to get into this whole scene because depending on how the scene goes down, the moment you say roll initiative, you're adding 30 to 60 minutes to your runtime, and we want to end sometime around 10 o'clock. But roughly speaking, this is what you see, and I'll describe it for chat. It is a festering grove of smoke-spun trees, sickly bramble patches, and pools of green, glowing smog. At the heart, well, not quite the heart, the literal heart is elsewhere, but in a very dark and gloomy portion of the morass, these deep pools giving off hideous, it smells foul in here. It smells like burnt garbage and sewage. Your eyes sting as you grow closer, and this haze flows over everything, making it difficult to see. The snake turns. It looks at Allan O'Dale.
Hmm.
And it
Why is it looking at Allan O'Dale?
speaks in perfect common.
Hmm.
You son of a bitch, I knew it.
I see you have incurred a debt,
I have.
and your creditor is very, very far away. Inconveniently distant.
Oh, bugger. Yes, very far away. I have some gold on me, but she's
Well,
very far away.
Wouldn't it be more convenient to transfer that debt to a new party?
Only if I knew that the money was going there. Otherwise, it would be against my very being.
This concerns Eren as well.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
like Eren is charmed to get her the money one way or another.
Oh yeah,
So
you don't
he's
have the money.
on
at the moment.
board with this. He's on board with the new debtor. He's like, fucking, let's go. Give her the money. We're good.
How do you get the money to Siva?
Oh, I don't.
Why do you care about getting the money to Siva?
That's not
We need to pay our debts, okay?
You cannot just walk around incurring debts all the time and then just taking advantage of people. This is
It's
unreasonable.
called responsibility.
That's literally
right
all
there.
humans do.
guys.
I've watched you do it constantly.
Dragon nearby.
Thoras, fiscal
arguing.
responsibility.
What do you mean?
We are trying to be upstanding pillars of community.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Thoras is right.
Thoras,
Snake.
Shut up.
Snaky demon. Snake, what are you proposing?
Thoras, if they keep speaking to the snake, will you please knock them out?
No. I need the bard to sing my tales once he sees how awesome I am.
Okay, will you render him immobile then?
No, he needs to be able to play as well. I need his fingers.
Temporarily.
Don't kill the dragon.
What?
Hmm?
What? But listen,
Why?
Snake.
Why?
I've traveled 8 hours through this bloody swamp, and you're telling me I can't
This
kill the dragon?
Snake is not a snake. It comes from below, is what I learned from these evil trees.
I
It
don't
is
know where
a
you're
thing that
from.
the tree is too afraid to speak the name of, and this tree in the center of the morass is terrifying. So why are we listening to
Joe,
it still?
can I use a persuasion roll, an opposed one perhaps, to try and convince Lysha of another way to do this that
No.
doesn't involve killing the dragon? Okay.
You have to do that in character.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but that would require. Okay, that's fine. That would require a very difficult individual to agree with me purely based on what I say.
That's it. So generally speaking, I've sort of come
In
around
character, in
to
character.
doing less player versus player roles, especially when it comes to like character decisions and such.
Okay.
Arm wrestling, that sort of stuff, sure. But when it comes to just interpersonal stuff, it's all on you.
Gotcha. All right.
So what are you trying to convince
Why
me
not
of?
instead of killing this dragon, which would be very glorious, I must agree. Why do we not just go for the heart of this whole thing? And then,
But
you know,
what
I
about my trophy?
but
My kill.
Would not be
My
the
test of
heart of the
strength.
morass a more glorious trophy to bring back to this village than nothing, really? Because we don't get to keep the dragon; it would get eaten. Something to
still-
represent our
I
triumph.
still don't
here.
trust
So,
Snake. Why
you
do we
say-
trust Snake?
You wish to destroy an entire ecosystem.
This is not a nice place
This
for
is a
anybody
shitty
except a bunch of
ecosystem.
hive-minded trees.
It's
and
not a
whatever
nice place for
primordial
you.
creature.
And it's not a nice place for me, but it's a nice place for this shrubbery.
I don't think
The
it
shrubbery
is.
bites
It looks
you.
dead. It's dead.
Ow!
The shrubbery is dead or undead. Either way, I don't think it's very happy. What
It
if we
doesn't-
could
listen,
solve this problem? Would,
Everything needs to eat, and just because it's aggressive doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to live.
would we not be so much more celebrated returning to this village by solving the
Thoras,
entire
would you
problem?
rather be sung of for destroying a tree that doesn't move or a mighty dragon?
Both.
Can I go over
Yeah.
to the snake and try and pick up the snake at this point?
Yeah. You now have a
I'm
snake.
gonna pick up the snake. I'm gonna take out my bag of holding, and I'm gonna thrust the snake into the bag of holding with the gold,
Okay.
I'm going to help you.
and kind of tie up the bag as well. Okay, snake is now with the gold.
Hmm.
Snake can deliver gold.
Can Snake deliver gold?
We're
I don't-
killing that
I don't
dragon,
know.
whether you say yes or not.
I'm
But
in
we do
agreement.
need to kill dragon.
We do need to kill a
Do
dragon.
we really need to kill dragon?
Yes.
Couldn't- Fine. Fine. We'll kill the dragon.
For me. Do it for me.
I've killed so
Do
many
it
dragons.
for-
I'll let you have this one.
Thank
Makes
you.
perfect sense.
Yes.
Giant that we
Eren,
just
what-
met.
Well, it must be nearby, though. Wait, we didn't ask the snake if it's nearby.
Well, you need to take it out. You put it in the fucking bag before you
Shout
ask him
at
whether-
the bag. Can you open up the bag?
You need to ask him where the dragon is. I mean,
Where is the dragon?
The snake.
What?
I'm speaking into your bag.
Oh, I'm gonna open up the bag.
Okay, the
Where-
snake
where is
pokes
the
out
dragon?
and just.
Where's the dragon?
I told Snake to be quiet, but he was speaking earlier, so I think he does know. Snake.
The snake pops his head out
Snake, you speak in riddles.
and it says, "If you wish to be clear of your debt,
What that?
I can speak to the dragon to take responsibility. You
I
give the
was holding
dragon
no
your
debt.
gold, and your debt is expunged.
No,
But-
then
but
the trees
then-
won't be happy.
Then I must
Ah!
accept. I must accept. We must be rid of this debt.
No.
It consumes my every thought,
What I was
Lysha.
saying,
You
we
don't
can-
understand.
We can solve this without
It
killing the dragon.
consumes your every thought and yours as well?
Yes. Well, I mean, we borrowed a large sum of gold, and then we have to return it. I mean, it's quite simple, really.
No. But you didn't want to initially. You haven't always. Okay, something is wrong here, and it's gone far enough.
Alex-
You and you are behaving oddly,
We are.
and
we
it
are-
consumes your every thought.
Alan,
My
Alan,
You-
this is so strange.
Someone has messed with your heads.
I don't think that's true. I just want to pay this debt. It's very simple.
Is the snake's head
Eren-
still popping out of the bag?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, Eren. If you had
Push it in.
50 gold and you could choose to give that 50 gold to Silva or to spend it on a whore, what would you do?
No, I need 1,000 gold to give to Silver, so I'd keep the 50 gold and then get the rest of the gold and give it to Silver. Quite
See?
simple.
See?
I
don't
don't
know-
know who
I
this
don't know what
silver
she's getting
character
at.
is, but I respect
Okay,
your commitment.
surely, Alan, I understand that you also think that giving this gold back is important, but surely you can see that for Eren to think that he would rather give the gold back to Silva than to spend it on a whore is out of character. Regardless of what you think, it's weird for him. Yes?
This is slander.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Oh my god.
That's what I thought. This is slander.
How can I
Out of
how
game,
can
you
I
can't
I
because
use a
they're charmed.
perception check or something to figure out that they've been charmed?
Insight.
Insight. Okay, I can do that. I am proficient. Did that roll?
No, I heard the
Dirty
rolling sound.
20.
Dirty
roll.
20. Okay, they are both under the effect of some sort of magical enchantment.
Oh my. You're both under the effect of an enchantment.
You're really blowing this out of proportion.
No,
just say we
I've
could-
actually just checked.
we could-
It's true. No, but can I
think they're
can I
just
prove it to you?
very
How can I prove it to
committed.
you? Okay.
Thoras, I don't understand why she's making such a big deal out of this.
No,
Eren,
Thoras,
I respect
they're
you,
enchanted.
that you keep your debts.
I have.
Oh my god, they're
I have felt
enchanted.
weird recently. I felt compelled beyond anything I've ever felt before to
Right.
pay my debts. Normally, happily get
yeah,
away with a little bit of
you know,
tax evasion.
Alan.
Right,
Alan,
you said it consumed your every thought, right?
I wonder.
there's nothing I like more to clear my head than killing an apex predator. I pull out my axe and I begin to charge into the abyss while
Okay.
screaming
Great
war
way of
chants.
breaking a player deadlock. I
Th-
approve
then
of this.
I'm gonna shove the snake back in the bag of
The,
holding.
the
He
snake
already
I already
did.
pushed in the
He-
Oh,
bag.
you already put.
Yeah, he
sorry,
While you were
that's-
arguing, I pushed the snake in and shielded it, and I
Okay.
slowly removed my axe while this argument was going on. And now I'm charging out into where I think wherever the dragon is. I'm going to try and percept it using my perception ability
Okay.
to
Roll
perceive this
perception.
dragon.
Mr. Jenkins.
Sometimes we just need a Leroy Jenkins moment.
You know what? It's a civil service. Honestly.
19.
19. Okay. I also got a 19.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Do we have a shadow jewel now? Are we locked in the shadow realm?
Yes.
The NYPD truck Spider-Man.
Okay, well, first off, as you look about these pools of murk and you see all of them stirring and moving, for a moment you think you catch a glimpse of something massive moving beneath the surface, but it's not it. Perhaps it's there. You think for a moment you have all these false positives. You're slowly whittling them down to where is it lurking. As you do this, what are the rest of you doing? He just Thoras girthy. I like it.
Okay, seeing him take off, I'd look at Alan and be like, okay, think more on that. You are definitely enchanted. Eren absolutely is as well. Don't spend any money this second, but we need to run.
Yeah, I mean, Eren is just going to follow after Thoras because if he kills the dragon before Eren gets a chance to, then this will be awful. So off he goes.
Alan?
Just FOMO.
Yes. I mean, I guess I'm just involved at this point. I'm pot committed.
Okay.
Because,
I mean, are you still holding the bag open with like
yeah.
the snake sticking
No,
out
no.
of it?
The
Or
snake
the
is
snake, no,
snake
the
is
snake's
in.
gone.
The snake is in. I've put the bag of holding back in my pocket, and I'm just gonna follow Thoras because Thoras is just running.
Okay. Two things happen almost simultaneously. Thoras, at the last second, something moves behind you, in the pool behind you. You're not surprised. You whirl around with your battle axe ready as a dragon bursts from the slime and the muck, spreading its wings, which are sickly translucent and filled with circulating smoke. Its maw drips with foul ooze and ashes just streaming mixed in with the spittle. Its breath is putrid and choking as it emerges to meet your challenge. At the exact same time, Allan and Eren, you were given an opportunity to fulfill the terms of your curse, and you turned against it without trying to stop it.
I tried to stop it.
But now you're going along with it, which is still counter to it.
Sure.
Fucking Lysha, dude. She fucked us, man.
Okay.
How was that me?
Honestly,
because you were so convincing that we should acknowledge our.
you both take 34 points of psychic damage as your
Oh
ears
my
and your
God.
eyes just bleed.
Bro, I'm instantly on the floor. That knocks me down to
relying
0.
on you guys.
That knocks me
okay.
down to 0 immediately.
How much damage again? Sorry.
34 points of psychic damage.
Fuck a duck.
And
I
we
am
will
boomed.
end our adventure there for the night. Thank you everyone for
I have
joining
an
us.
emergency healing words.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That act of God is coming in at the beginning of the next session for you, Sideshow.
So
For
Thanks,
fuck's sake.
Chat, we had two acts of God. The first act of God was a blessing of Erekura, the dead earth goddess, who gave Lysha a boon of healing, which she now has and can dispose at her will. The second act of God is the snake.
Oh,
the snake.
Fun fact,
Good old
snake.
snake.
if the snake hadn't told you that there was a way to use the dragon to pay off your debt, then attacking the dragon wouldn't have counted as failing to pay off your debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That snake just likes to fuck shit up.
I mean, that's
not a fan.
5d10 damage. That's you're like.
Keep it in your
oh.
bag until it suffocates to death.
That snake is bad news.
Hmm.
Right?
Not a fan of the snake.
The snake.
I think that's a good
The
place
snake
to
who
end it.
won't tell
Oh,
me
yeah,
his
no,
name.
we're calling it there for the night.
I get to ramp up my mental as Thoras prepares to 1v1 a fucking dragon.
Excuse you, I'm still here.
I'm still
Okay.
here as well. Just saying.
1v2.5.
Yeah. What health are you on, Eren?
24. Not a lot. Yeah.
You're on 24. You have like what 58 health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a level 6 fighter.
Jesus wept.
How
I
much?
am
How much
weak.
health does?
How much
Thoras
health do
have?
you
wanna
have?
ask-
I have
how much does
75.
Thoras do?
33?
33. I got
75.
boomed immediately by that.
I have 45 as a druid.
Alika pops up. I'm here too.
I forgot you were here.
Alika can tank, maybe.
No, she can't.
Holika cannot do anything.
You are definitely tanking.
Except for help us get across water,
Yeah.
talk to
true.
rivers, after we spend an hour trying to figure out how.
Oh,
And also be starry-eyed and adorable. She
Oh.
can do that.
GG. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Yeah.
GG.
Yep.
That
Good
was-
games.
I'll
Good
go
games.
ahead and
Thank
wrap
you.
it
That
up
was
here.
incredibly entertaining. I enjoyed that a lot.
Thanks, Joe.
Good stuff,
Excellent.
guys.
Thanks everyone
Thank
for
you.
joining after a long day. I know everyone was up early. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the subs. We will be back next Tuesday as our adventure continues.
Peace.
Poggy.
Bye-bye.